Why, hello there. So as promised in my last video, here is my new home management binder. Now, story behind the binder, about a month ago, a little over a month ago, several groups were posting about a Filofax Domino on Amazon that was available for just $14. It was already sold out, but as Amazon often does, it says that if you order now, then we will fulfill your order when it's available. Now, I've dealt with this before. In 2014, Amazon had great prices on Filofax Maldens. I ordered 3 of them in different sizes and colors, received 1. So I wasn't really holding my breath that I would ever see this Domino. But sure enough, a month later, I got the shipping notice, and here it is. It is the Patent Pink, Hot Pink Domino, A5 size. As you can see, it's very glossy. I'm not a huge fan of the patent. I'm not an incredible fan of the Domino in general. I had a black Domino before, but sold it because I just wasn't in love with it and someone else wanted it. And I'm not a huge pink fan, but for $14, I couldn't really say no. One good thing about the material, my main complaint with the material is just that it's sticky, and so it sticks on everything, and I'm just not in love, but this isn't going to go with me. It just stays at home, so it doesn't really matter. One good thing about it is that the transfer stickers that I got back in, I believe it was back to school season, they were on clearance after back to school season at Target. This is what they looked like. I got a couple of packs of them, 2 of each of the designs. It's from Heidi Swap, American Crafts. It was from the DIY Marquee line. And it was usually an end cap over by the craft supplies. But they're rub-on stickers, thus the popsicle stick. And so I decided, because the plain blank pink was kind of bumming me out, to give it a try. And sure enough, it transferred on here just great. I'm not sure how it's going to wear, but I feel like it adds just a little kick to it to make it more mine. And for $14, I was willing to experiment. So that's what I did on the front. Right here, I also did another line of hearts on the inside. But this is how I have it all set up. Of course, first things first, I had to make myself some new dividers because the dividers I had in my home management binder just didn't really complement all of this pink. My husband gave me this amazing scrapbook paper set from Cartabella Papers, Echo Park Paper Company, the So Lovely collection, and I absolutely fell in love with them. In fact, I planned on making folders or something with them before we left town after Christmas, but I couldn't bring myself to cut them up. But that's what all of these dividers, which I will get through to in a minute, are made out of. Right here in the front is a dashboard. I actually have 2 Project Life cards. I forgot what the name of the collection was, but it was some sort of like rustic elegance or something like that. A lot of wood grain and in soft colors. But I thought it was fitting since my home management binder that says home there. This is just a cardstock, there's a craft paper fox that I cut out with my silhouette. It has different details, but you can't really see it. Kate Spade paper clip holding that together, and then Ollie clip on the top. But I just thought this was a nice spread to open to, as well as have some Target Dollar Spot sticky notes just stuck right there, and then a couple of decorative cards stuck in the pocket there because I didn't really have another use for it, and it looked kind of empty with nothing in there. So on the back, what makes this a dashboard, I have note paper and some more sticky notes, just to have that handy if I need this. This stays in my desk drawer in the kitchen. So it is ready to reference, and I usually have my planner is out on that, and all of my sticky notes are right there, so I don't generally have to grab this, and this does stay at home, so that's the reason I don't have that much in there. So I decided to try out top tabs. I've never had top tabs before. I've always gone with the side tabs, but just to show you how it looks at the top, and I'm really liking it so far. I didn't laminate these dividers at all, so I feel like the tabs may need some reinforcing. I'm kind of concerned about that, so if you have any suggestions, I was thinking maybe packing tape or contact paper, but I'm not sure how that's going to look. So if you do something special with your tabs, just the tabs only, I didn't want to put the rest of it through the laminator because this paper has such a great texture that I wanted to preserve. Leave a comment below with your suggestions. I would really appreciate that. So this first tab is for my oldest son's school stuff. And I thought the rulers on the back was kind of fitting. It's, of course, all sewing themed, but I thought that was a kind of a tie-in. So I have his yearly calendar. I have his calendar for the month as far as what day they do a rotation on the day for the days, as well as any special events. This is the rotation for the days, 8-day schedule rotation. And then I have some other information with personal information I'm not going to share. And I actually was able to punch the school handbook. Obviously, I'm covering up personal information about my kid's school, but I was able to put the entire thing in there, which was nice. Then I have a campus map, and then a map of he's in the elementary school, the lower school, so I have a map of that actual building. So that is all there. My second tab is for my youngest school, because my oldest is in kindergarten and my youngest is in preschool. So I have the teacher's email and contact information turned over so as to not show that, but that's there. Then I have his calendar, and then I have his month as far as special events. He's just in the 2-year-old preschool, so there's not any real classes or anything that he's rotating through. It's just any special events that they have and birthdays. And then he's in the Tiny Turtles class. This is what their day generally looks like. As well as I have the entire rotation for the year as to what things the entire school is going to be talking about. I also usually they have a little music class, and they send out every month what songs they're going to be doing, but I haven't gotten that printed out for January yet. So my next tab is my addresses, so thus everything's kind of covered up for that. I do have this library pocket that I made with some paper that I had from the public library collection. I thought coordinated well. You can see kind of some of the back there, there's some words, and I just have stamps and return address labels there. So for my addresses, I have one sheet with all of my family members and extended family. I have one sheet with all of my in-laws and extended family members on that side. Then I have medical, which has not only all of our insurance and policy information, but also all of the doctors that we see and their contact information. Then I have utilities, which has all of our utility companies, their contact information, and our account numbers. So it's kind of a reference for anyone in the family that needs to access this information. It's all right there in the kitchen, which is kind of the hub of our family. So my next tab here is finance. Now, I haven't been great basically in the past year about tracking budget and tracking finance. I'm trying to get better about that. It was one of my resolutions, one of my goals for last year that really I just didn't come up with a good system. But I'm still trying. So this first sheet, I just have our monthly bills, the date they're due. I've covered up the names, and then we get into the actual finance tracking that I've done in the past. So I have a bunch of the a bunch of the Kiki K inserts. I also have some Filofax inserts. So hopefully I will be able to come up with a good system for tracking all of that. I used to have a budget worksheet in here, but it was so outdated by the time, because I really just didn't mess with it last year, that I finally just threw it away, and I'll start from scratch next time. So my last one is kind of area things and coupons and just stuff I want to keep track of in a central place. So I have the, usually I will take the gym's schedule because they have the Kids Academy at our gym that we go to. And so usually I will take that and scan it and shrink it down. But this time it was already tiny and they did it differently. So I just folded it in half and stuck it in there. So I have the schedule for the winter for my kids' gym, for when their different classes are. I have the spa. I've only gone to the spa once because I had special bucks that I could use, so it was basically free to me. So I have their prices and everything for the different spa treatments they offer. And then I have a couple of things of coupons. These are rain checks for Harris Teeter and some no expiration date, dollars off coupons. And then I have another one with coupons for area attractions, just different things that we can do in the area or different small businesses that I have coupons for. And then in the back, I have just a Kiki K notepad and then my Friction multi-pen. See if we can get, I can never remember where the writing on this is. There we go. So it's my Friction multi-pen. It comes with a gray or black, blue, and red, but I switched out using the slim Friction refills, the black for a green. So I use it for my kids. I use this pen especially in my Happy Planner. But I thought the pink went well with this Domino, so I stuck it on in here. So that is my current setup. It's working well for me. It's the same setup, though slightly glammed up and slimmed down, because when I had it in my other binder, I had a bunch of tabs I was no longer using just because I moved those functionality, like meal planning was a section that I no longer kept in here. And there's a couple, and I used to keep a journal in here as well, and then I moved that elsewhere. So I slimmed this down as far as what the content is. And so far, I'm really, really liking it. Despite the fact that it's pink and despite the patent material, I think this is what it's going to stay in, just because it is durable. I mean, not that it's really going anywhere. I don't mind the kids messing with it and my husband getting into it to find out their schedules. And so I think it's going to work well. So I'm left trying to figure out what to do with what had been my home management binder. This is an A5 Ochre Malden, and I absolutely love. And this, for some reason, has always screamed to me journal. I used to use it when I first set up my home management binder. Had my journal in here, but really journaling in rings is not working for me. So I would love to use this as a journal, but I just don't know that that's going to work. I have just for a while I had an Erin Condren, not in this A5, but in a different A5, so I already had the cover trimmed down and punched. So I just put that in here, and all I have currently is just a bunch of blank paper. So that maybe I would journal in there, but I really don't think I will. So I actually, blasphemous as this has been, have been toying with the idea of taking the rings out. So I know gasp is horror all around for Filofax purists. I've already taken the rings out of my personal size Ochre Malden. You can see on my channel the video for that. I have a couple of videos about that. So I know I can do it. I know it's easy. My main holdout on that, first of all, is that my personal size, I only ended up paying about $19 for it because it was a trade, and it was basically just the cost of shipping to Canada because I'd gotten the planner I traded for free. So that was not as much invested on my end for it, whereas this I paid not quite full price, but I still paid close to $100 for it. So that would, if something went wrong, and I'm just worried about that. Also, with the personal size, it has that vertical pocket here, so I was able to take the rings and put them on a hard piece of plastic so that I could turn it back into a normal ringed binder if I ever wanted to. This does not have that. So once the rings are out, there's really not a good way to reattach them. I guess I could put them in the front, but I'm not sure how that would, I'm not sure if that would work as well with it. Getting stuck on something there. I'm not sure what. So there's not that same safety net with it. Also, even though it's A5 size, it's much bigger, so I'm not sure what sort of notebooks I would use in here if I converted it into a traveler's notebook. They would be bigger, and I don't know if that would be too intimidating for me to use as a journal, because I've been liking having the smaller pages for a journal. But currently, this is just going to sit on the shelf because I don't have another use for an A5 size ringed binder. I don't want to sell it because I love it, but I don't have a use for it. So what are your thoughts on de-ringing an A5 Malden? Is that just blasphemy? Would I be burned at the Filofax stake for that? Or is that something that you'd be interested in seeing how it turned out? If so, do you have any suggestions for the size of notebooks I should look into? Because I want to make sure that I have contents for it before I go through with the plunge. I make sure that I have a usefulness for it. So leave some comments below on that. I hope that looking at this setup was helpful for you. I hope it gave you some ideas. I hope that you like the personalization, because I certainly do. If you try it out, adding anything to your Domino, especially a patent one, I'd love to see it because I think it looks so pretty like this. Leave me a comment below to let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to see more. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.